Hello everyone, it is Stipe here, the coach of the Metagross Magnitogorsk. And it is time for the quarterfinal of the NPL Tryout tournament. So we've come pretty far, and right now we are about to face Pesky Skitty. I don't know much about him, but so far he has an unbeaten run. So if I want to stay in this tournament, I need to break his streak, or otherwise I'll be out myself. And that's not a super easy task, because his team is rather threatening looking. So without further ado, let's get into the matchups. I mean, you can already see them in the screen, but Pesky's team consists of Zeraora, Zygarde, 50% by the way, Tapu Bulu, Melodic, Mega Aggron, Blacephalon, Meow, Espeon, Honchkrow, and Kangaskhan. I don't know, I felt like I said it weirdly at first. I don't know. Zygarde and Honchkrow are Z, so Honchkrow for sure a very unique Z option there. Anyway, I've been watching his content he's been uploading for this league, and well, I mean, okay, I'm just gonna say, you can see my team there, of course. My Z captains for the recap are Latios, Grandpa, and Spiritomb. But yeah, having looked at his team, I have kind of an idea what he might be bringing or whatnot. But like, his team is very threatening for a couple of reasons. Obviously, like in this matchup, Celesteela has an exceptionally bad matchup, in a way that, like, Celesteela is like a mon you can always bring, and I was considering it, but I decided against it like 10 minutes before we battled or something. But yeah, he has like Zeraora, which is a great check for it, as Zygarde, which obviously is a great check for it. Bulu can be like Nature's Madness lead seed, which does have a chance to check it. I mean, Melodic doesn't really beat it, but Celesteela doesn't beat it back, so it doesn't matter. Mega Aggron, well, Mega Aggron is definitely a mon that the Celesteela can take advantage of. Blacephalon, of course, is there. I really love how Blacephalon functions in this draft. Pesky hasn't been bringing it that much, but because the team is so offensive, it just forces the prep a lot, and that's how I really love how the Blacephalon functions passively in the draft, even if it doesn't come to matches. Of course, I'm very scared of that Blacephalon, but having looked at his games, he hasn't been bringing Blacephalon to a lot of matchups where I think it would have been good, simply because there might be like some like one or two very good checks. But in my opinion, that's not necessarily a reason to not bring it. It can still be a very big threat, and not all of those checks necessarily come either way. Meow is there. I mean, it doesn't really break. I guess Bandit can break through Celesteela, I don't know. But yeah, so Celesteela first of all has a very bad matchup. The second thing is that Zygarde is a very good or a very big threat in this matchup. I don't really have, like, my grass type is Breloom, which is not the bulkiest ever. I was at first thinking of bringing like a bulky Breloom, but it's like, if it's DD like Dragonium, then it's just gonna drop at +1, even if it's like max HP, max defense, so it's not really a good trade-off there. And what the set I'm actually expecting is Bandit, simply because arrows is just so spammable versus my team. And but yeah, so this was quite hard of a matchup to build for, but there are a few things I can actually exploit. The first thing is the obvious one. Once again, a team that doesn't have a grounded poison, and that's what I'm gonna abuse very, very heavily this time, and you will see it soon. And the second thing is that his Breloom checks actually are very well checked by my other things. So those two things are like my ways of trying to get around his team that I feel like I definitely have worse. Where I'm feeling like I have a worse matchup, but let's see. I mean, that's just my opinion. Anyway. But to the team that I did build, so here you can see all the monsters I'm bringing. So first of all, there's the Breloom set that I'm building around. It's SD Bullet Punch, Mag Punch, Spore with Flumberry. So really the only things that I don't just straight up kill a +2, of course Bulu and Blacephalon and Espeon. Like they just resist and outspeed me. Zygarde is too bulky for me to kill, +2 attack, and so is Mega Aggron actually. So I need to weaken Zygarde and Aggron and Bulu, and I'm like with this set, I'm definitely going with the mindset that I'm not necessarily expecting Blacephalon, even though I'm very scared of it. I'm not expecting it because I'm ready to risk that Blacephalon, like, how should I say it? I'm gonna punish him for not bringing Blacephalon, basically. That's what I'm saying. Of course, Bulu checks this set very well, but at the same time, I have Golbat in the roster, and as you can see, I'm bringing it, and I have a possibility of a Celesteela, which still doesn't mean much because it can be like Lychee Nature's Madness set, which I'm definitely. If he brings Bulu, I'm expecting that type of set. And so my second one is actually Golbat that I said. A very, very, very unique kind of set. Super Fang Roost, Venom Drench, and Brave Bird. I mean, it's basically the same thing as last week, except now I'm bringing Venom Drench over Taunt. This is a very, very, very cool move in the matchup because you can do a few things. So with the speed, I'm actually going with more speed than I'm expecting him to run on his Zygarde, because of my speed tiers, I can actually really abuse them. Because I don't think that the Zygarde is gonna need much speed at all. So I can go for Venom Drench against the Zygarde if it's poisoned by the T-Spikes, and basically 1v1 it, whether it's a D-Dance or a Bandit set. So in case you don't know what Venom Drench does, it lowers the speed, attack, and special attack of a poisoned foe. So basically, Zygarde is not able to do anything to my Golbat, which is pretty crazy. Also, if something like Zeraora switches in, it will not be able to outspeed me. I have enough speed for that, assuming that he is speed creeping a Mega Man Electric. Next thing I'm bringing is a Granbull. I'm bringing Max Physically Defensive. This is a very cool set because it just deals with a lot of his offense. Misha doesn't do much, Bulu doesn't do much, Zygarde doesn't do much. I can just hit them all fairly strongly with Play Rough. Seismic Toss is very nice for the fixed damage, which I just need in order to bring stuff like Mega Aggron and Zygarde in the range of the Breloom. The same with Golbat Super Fang. I just need a Super Fang on Mega Aggron to bring it pretty much down to +2, Mag Punch, and some extra chip. But yeah, Gramble. I'm running Z heal, but for that recovery, I'm thinking it's very nice in this matchup, especially since I'm bringing the Scarf Latios. Crunch is there solely for the Mega. I mean for the Blaze Cephalon. It's also nice for Espeon because for Espeon I'm kind of concerned about some kind of a maybe a Coal Mine Pass type of set. Definitely scares me a little bit, so I like having that crunch, but it's mostly for the Blacephalon. I can take any hit from +1. I mean, at full health, that's what I meant. I can kill it with the crunch. Then we got the Swampert set that is a very unique set. So I was having Celesteela at this slot at first, but the idea for this slot was something that can threaten and weaken Melodic and Mega Akron at the same time in the early game. Because I'm leaving Breloom for the late game, but I might be in big trouble if I'm not able to break that core in the early game. So that's why I'm having my Swampert that's sub Endeavor, and also this mon gives me rocks, which I would have not otherwise been able to bring. And then I'm having a Stomping Tantrum there, which does hit Zeraora better. Also, like, one reason I brought Swampert over Celesteela is that with Celesteela over Swampert, Electric is just an incredibly spammable move, or like a type against my team. So Swampert just gives so much like breathing room there. And like I just think this set can put in a lot more work on the Celesteela and balances my team way more. Even though this set is very experimental, especially considering that I just went for this at like 10 minutes before the game. I didn't like put that much consideration into it, but whatever. Then Greninja is there. It's very good offensively. I was actually bringing like a bulkier Greninja set at first, because I was gonna bring Focus Sash on Breloom, but then I figured that Lum is just a lot better on Breloom, so it can set up on like Melodic, for example, a lot easier. And this like Focus Sash just enables Greninja still check Zygarde pretty well as Blacephalon. I can just Toxic Spike, and then I have Taunt for in case I need it. I mean, my main thought was mainly just to prevent something like Melodic from healing. But yeah, these spikes are my main hazard in this game. Luckily I was able to fit Rock as well. And then last I had to bring Scarf Latios, Draco, Meteor Ice Beam, Psychic, just my means of just revenging things as effectively as possible. And I have Memento to help the Breloom sweep in the end game. So that's basically all about the team I brought. Pretty in-depth once again. I hope it wasn't too much. Whatever, let's go to the actual battle. So as you can see, he brings team of 6 that is basically all Breloom food, which was very surprising. I was like, where is Bulu? There's no Blacephalon, which not big surprise. And the second thing, like, half of his team just doesn't do anything against Gramble, which is equally fantastic. And like, the team preview actually looking very good. So let's see what happens in the battle. Actually, I usually always do like a mock commentary on this, but no, I didn't. So let's see how this goes. But I think I'll lead off with my Swampert. Just wanted to get up. No, I lit up with Greninja. Okay. So I mean, he doesn't have any other hazard removal than the Honchkrow, but I'm not like expecting it to run defog or anything. But yeah, I'm just getting up my T-Spike as the Meowshark go for U-turn. Does a nice chunk of damage as I go for my T-Spikes. Melodic comes in. I'm just gonna go into Swampert. I don't mind getting damage because that's like I'm Endeavor set, so that's what I want. I go hard for sub. I'm faster, by the way. My speed tier is so that I should be outspeeding Melodic even if it has some speed. And I go for a sub and then rocks as the Honchkrow reveals Night Slash, which is very interesting. I'm just gonna go hard into my Gramble as the Honchkrow switches out, making a like that works for him for sure. I'm just gonna go back into my Swampert because if I get this Endeavor on the Aggron, that's gonna be fantastic. And he goes for rocks. And that's fine. I'm just gonna go for I believe another sub, so that I can go for an Endeavor the next turn. And yeah, I get to Endeavor the Honchkrow as it does in fact reveal a defog, which is a very interesting thing, but works for him. Anyway, I go for an Endeavor. I believe again. No, I go for rocks as it switches out. Interestingly enough. And Meowshark reveals knockoff, which is perfect because it's looking like it's a Scarf set, and I can just go into my Gramble, and as I'm Z Heal Bell, knockoff won't be doing anything at all, and my Z is still there. Now he's gonna go into his Honchkrow, as I'm just gonna go for Seismic Toss, and that's great because it means that his Defogger is gone, and once I get up my T-Spikes, I'm actually in a fantastic position, and he brings in Melodic, and I do the calc. Scalpel's Burn won't kill my Greninja. He actually goes for Ice Beam, luckily no freeze, but yeah, I was always gonna leave both Ice Beam and Scald. I don't need my Greninja, I just get up my T-Spikes. We're pretty much set to rock here, so I'm just gonna bring in my Breloom. No, I bring in my Swampert, and the reason I bring in my Swampert is I can check if I am faster than the Melodic, because Breloom and Swampert are actually set to the exact same speed tier. Now I can go hard in Breloom because if he scalds, which I'm not expecting, I still have the Lum, and if he recovers, which is more likely, I can just go for a Spore, which is exactly what happens, and I can set up a Sword Stance. If he switches out into something, I'm obviously play accordingly. He goes into Mega Aggron. I'm gonna switch out because I can't really do much against this thing. Like Mach Punch is only a roll to 2 hit KO, so there's really no point. And Zygarde probably has E-Speed. Anyway, I go into Golbat, and right here, Hiveslam doesn't do much. It does quite a bit, but he brings in Zygarde, and this is like what I was expecting. I mean, I get the Super Fang on the switch. However, right here, I do go for the move, the Venom Drench, and look at the damage, look at the damage. There we go, 22%. And I mean, that's not Bandit though, which, I mean, it still would have done under 30%, but that was super awesome. And right now, I'm just gonna 1v1 this Zygarde. If he goes for DD, I'm still gonna be faster, so it doesn't matter. And I can just keep Roost stalling this Zygarde. So the Zygarde goes down as toxic damage racks up. In comes a Zeraora, and like I'm basically in a position where Breloom's gonna win. However, right here I actually make a bad play. Going hard into Gramble. I like having seen his replays. I know that he like sets on Zeraora. So he goes for Calm Mind. What I should have done there is actually just go for Venom Drench, because then I would have been able to 1v1 the Zeraora with my Golbat, and like I would have still had Gramble for the Meowshark. So definitely, like in hindsight, I should have just went for the Venom Drench with my Golbat against the Zeraora. Now what happens is he actually gets to +1 and crits my Gramble. It wouldn't have died to the T-Bolt without the crit there. So I'm gonna go into my Golbat, try to get him to go for T-Bolt on my double, but he doesn't like he doesn't fall for that. I'm just gonna bring in my Latios because it can actually It can revenge the Zeraora from this range. I'm Scarf, so I'm faster, obviously. And Draco is going to kill the Zeraora from this range. And I connect, which is beautiful, because otherwise I more than likely would have lost the game. I don't know, actually. I don't know if Miansha died to pull up Mach Punch from that range. Anyway, in comes aggro. I'm just gonna go with my Golbat. And this is perfect because I'm actually gonna roost once. The reason for this is I want to know if he's gonna stay in against me. And he goes for Heavy Slam, so that tells me that he is. So I'm just gonna go for Super Fang now, knowing that he doesn't feel like he wants to switch out. As he actually goes for Earthquake, expecting another roost. I only roosted to see if he wants to stay in or not. And turns out he does indeed want to stay in, which is perfect because now he is in fact in range of Breloom. I'm just gonna go into Latios and Memento, which like was kind of a bad play because like really this doesn't give me anything. Heavy Slam is in every case a roll to knock me out. I mean, it needs a crit to knock me out is what I mean, so whether it's at -2 doesn't make a difference. But I get up my +2, +2, Heavy Slam doesn't crit me, and I'm just free to Mach Punch through the team. And the Melodic is last mon, and as you can see, I only need 2 bullet punches to kill off the Melodic. So that is GG. Breloom putting him in a ton of work, as well as Venom Drench, Golbat. It was close that I would have 1v1'd Zygarde and Zeraora with my Golbat set, which is crazy, but I quite didn't have the foresight to do that. Anyway, we're through, and what is hype about this is that we do have a chance to actually have an all-Finnish semi-final game against Vepsis, so I'm definitely super hyped for that. Thanks for Pesky's Kitty, he's been doing great content and had a great run in this tournament. I'm super proud of myself being able to put this performance against him. To showcase my skills as a battler as well as a builder. Definitely got to kind of show off my ability to build some rather unusual kind of sets. Anyway, I hope you're looking forward to the next time. This is Stipe signing out. Bye.